Hey there. Today I'm going to check out realtor.com and see what kind of properties we have for sale here in Michigan. We recently purchased 100 acres up in Michigan's UP, and I like looking, even though I'm not buying anything, I like to look and see what we have. So it is December, so it's not a great time of year, but let's see what we have. I'm going to look for something less than $1 million. Let's do 100,000. Let's do, I want to see land. So let's see here. I'm going to do more. And you can do lot size here. I'm going to do the minimum 20 acres and see what we get. All right. So I'm familiar with Newberry. Newberry is a bigger city in the UP. You also have Sault Ste. Marie, St. Ignace, and then if you want to go farther west, yeah, Munising and then Marquette are the bigger cities on the northern side, and then Escanaba on the south side. I always like to find property that's close to getting across the bridge, and then you don't have to go very far. This looks like a field, which does not interest me. Pending. Let's get rid of those. Listing status. You can hide pending. And we have one here. That's the field. This one looks like a field. This is an island, which would be cool, but also kind of looks like a field. $79,900 for 86 acres. This looks kind of interesting. It's on or near, it's near 28, which is a great road to get from east to west. I'm going to look at this one. Looks a little small. 13 saves this week, so people are interested in it. It hasn't, well, it does not have an address. It's 86 acres on South Hendry River Road. Okay. It has been on the market for a long time, almost a year, so it must be something wrong with it or not desirable. Looking for a gorgeous spot in the UP. This is what you've been looking for. Heavily wooded with seasonal access. There it is. Seasonal. So that means like right now is winter. We have the UP has 20 plus inches on the ground. You cannot get to this property. Usually you can get to them on a snowmobile. It's basically that road is not plowed, so you'd have to figure out how to get there. If that road is a snowmobile trail, then you'd have to have a legal snowmobile with trail permits and registered and all of that to get to your property. So this is complete privacy, small storage building, has a well and a staging area off the road. There's also a pond and a creek. That's nice. Wildlife, pine, birch, tamarack, deer, grouse. The trails, there are trails if you wish to hunt, and hundreds of acres of state land nearby. Close to Hulbert, between Newberry and Sault Ste. Marie, 40 miles to the bridge, so that's nice. Dirt road, wooded lot. If you do the show more, this will tell you what school district, county. This gives you actual directions. So to access beyond the railroad crossing is via ATV or ORV, so you cannot even drive your car into this. So that's why it's been on the market for a year. I really highly doubt that it's zoned residential. This usually is not accurate, I have found when I was looking for property. Yeah, so good price, not so great for access. You see what kind of pictures? There's a few pictures. It's like a little, that must be the shed. There's the well, the trail in. That looks really pretty. I'm a sucker for those big pine trees. It looks nice. It's just you can't get to it. And if you're a hunter and you're adventurous and you don't mind taking a four-wheeler in, the main road looks nice. It's by a river. It said something about crossing the railroad tracks. So there's the railroad tracks. So I'm wondering, I also would wonder where the road is and make sure you have legal access, that you don't have to cross somebody else's property, because these are, like, is this a road here? I'm not sure. So yeah, okay. Interesting that it's got some limitations. So let's see what else we got. I'm gonna zoom out. Not a lot. It is off season here for selling houses. People don't usually sell in the winter. Especially in the UP, you're not going to be able to get up there and look. This here, this is a nice area. I'm going to take a peek at this one. 20 acres in McMillan, which I've heard is a lot of water, wetland. Hardwood, evergreen, close to Manistee Lake, hiking, snowmobile trails, 4 seasons, so there you can get to it anytime. Electric is down from the property on the drive, on Osborne Drive. So there's nothing here. They've been trying to sell it for a little bit and they've reduced their price. So they're anxious. Flood major. That's not good. Okay, that's enough for me. I'm out of here. Like I said, I've heard McMillan is wet, and even like this area here. This area here, I happen to know this lot's been for sale as long as I was looking for properties, so over a year. And this is the river and these little streams. It's just all wet through here, so I wouldn't recommend that unless you're hunting, and then the wet is good for animals. What's this one? 49 acres for 49,000 for 40 acres. 407. 30 days. This is newer. 5 miles from Pine Stump, which is great. Mix of hardwoods and conifers. There's no road into the property, and walk-in access is over state land. So this is one where you're not allowed to get to the property legally. You would never probably be able to have a driveway. You'd have to get an easement from somebody. It tells you do not trespass on private land. Yeah, this is like there's no access to it, so I would not even, which is a shame because that area is really nice. Let me look up here. $69,900 for 80, very good price. Probably another one of those ones can't get to. High ground and low ground. Mix of trees, good area for offers seclusion. West side was in the Duck Lake fire. but vegetation is emerging. Access is by legal easement. Good seasonal road and power is not available. I was going to say, I know that area. I would love to be in that area, but you cannot get power, and I need power for my job and for conveniences. But they have legal easement, so this would be nice if you're willing to be off grid. It's not sold recently or anything. Minimal flood. And I've been out that way. The trees are really grown up from the fire area. It's so pretty. Showing you area. So this is a good price for sure. You'd have to be off grid. Did you know you can hit the satellite to see the area better? So here's 123. You go from Newberry and you go north, you go to Paradise. So it looks like you can turn off here on Duck Lake Trail, and that will get you, where'd it go? Way over here. So I don't know how you actually get there, but there's a loop around and a road. That's nice too. Off-grid property. And it had 7 saves this week, so I think other people are interested in it too. A lot of people will want to be off-grid. So here's 55 for 80, same kind of scenario. Same area, they just have this one picture. 80 acres of good hunting land, deer blind. The land has many ATV trails, built an off-grid cabin, seasonal access via dirt road. So this says seasonal, so you'd have to get yourself in there. And then if this is a snowmobile trail in the winter, which I would doubt it, but possibly. Because there are a lot of snowmobile trails up in this area. Okay. So not a lot of action in this Newberry area. Let me look at this. That's that one. We looked at those. Let me zoom. Not a lot shaking right now. Yeah. And then if you go west, and I'm looking at 20 acres or more at 100,000. So I'm a cheapskate here. I'm trying to get the world on a shoestring here. This would be a nice area by Munising. Pretty good prices for land in the UP. Depends on what you're looking for. That looks like a development. For me, I wouldn't want to be the far south or west, but let's see. It's a good price, 28 acres for 50. On the highway, Highway 2, zoned resource production. Permitted principal use includes single family dwellings, so you can have a house, you can have a mobile home. You can do agriculture, timber, seasonal, campgrounds, stables, a long list. Complete zoning on file. It's a good amount of land on the highway, on the main road. Not a lot of information here. You'd want to go over and walk it and ask the township and see who your neighbors are. Don't you just love birch trees? It's pretty. Power line right there. Power would be easy. Yep. Not terrible. You can find good deals up there. Just gotta look a little. Oh, there's some snowmobile trails up this way too. Gwyn, I think, is a big. Oh, that's a funny picture. Let's look at this. That's pretty. So fall, I'm guessing this is, they took their pictures in fall, but yet they just listed it 2 weeks ago. Frontage on Escanaba River, 2 parcels together. Oh, big description. Oh boy, I can't even read it when it's like that big. Land is forested and ruggedly gorgeous. We have a creative realtor. Half far from Marquette. I just can't read all this, there's too much. Fronts a private road near the river with but a 66-foot wide easement to the west side of the land is probably your best access to a building site. Do you have an easement or do somebody have an easement on yours? Excellent building site or a getaway camp. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty. I don't know if you actually, man, that's pretty. I don't know if the river actually on the property. Frontage on the middle branch of the Escanaba River. So it sounds like yes. 2 parcels, one beautifully set on fresh water of the river, and across the road is another 20 acres. So you have 20 acres. There's 2 lots, 20 acres on each side. So is this the side of this one or is the other one? And has it sold or not? Looks like a nice river, lots of maple trees, pretty color. They had a good photographer for sure. These are gorgeous. It was so pretty this year up north. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's look and see what the satellite looks like. It looks kind of remote. There's the river. So maybe there's property on this side, then there's still another one on the other side. Not sure. Not too far from town, which is good. The airport. Pretty sure there's a lot of snowmobile trails up in this region. Yeah, that looks nice. That's a pretty good deal. What is that? 75,000 divided by 20. Is that right? 37.50 an acre. Yeah. It's a lot more than I paid for mine, I'll tell you that, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and look for a cottage and see what we can find. So I'm gonna switch my criteria here. Since we're getting a building, I'm looking for a cottage. So I'm gonna put 200,000 in for my price, and I want at least a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, something. And I have my hide pending, and I have it flagged right now for the acres, right? So 20 acres. I'm going to reduce that down to 10 and see what we get. Not a whole lot more. So going from the bridge north, I'm going to 185 for a 962 bedroom. Let's look at this one and see what it looks like. It looks like it needs some work from that first picture. Let's see. Looks like a hill. They have wood. Not sure what that is. You can make these bigger. Sometimes it helps and then they go up and down. Sometimes it doesn't. I've been known to, if you have your little snipping tool, you can take a snip and then save it to your desktop. And then when you open it back up, you can zoom in on it if you want to see something up close. I've done that before. It's a sign of something there. Looks very thick. Oh, that's cute. Pond. Be a nice garden or something. The workshop. A garage and a garage. A roof. Big rocks. There's a lot of big rocks in the UP. We have quite a few at our property. There's the road. It's right on the road. They have an address, 3379, so that's good. Because getting your address, or what they call your fire number, is a tricky situation in some townships. Our township, they require a building, the permitted building, to give us our address, which is a little annoying because we don't want a building yet. So, rustic cabin and prime hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, 25 minutes from the bridge, borders hundreds of acres of federal land, and has numerous trails. Here's a pond, a garden with strawberries and asparagus, a root cellar, and 2 additional older cabins. And 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Yet, however, did you notice the pictures are all outside? So that tells me that you'd probably be better off. Whatever cabin is there is not worthy of any pictures. So that's a lot of money for 22 acres without something that's probably livable. I don't know. Sorry, I'm scrolling up and down. 44 days. So it's not been on the market a long time, but that's a pretty good amount of time for property. Then I was going to look and see if it said anything about flood zone. Oops, sorry, it was there. It says minimal. So a lot of these are just the fires. Just, there's trees everywhere, right? So, all right, I'm going to go back. So that was this one. Let me look at this. What's this one? This one's 11 acres for 180. This one looks okay. It's top end here on a hill. Almost 2 months on the market. 40 acres. Weekend hunting or future dream. Older home. Well heated, fully equipped pool barn is standalone, is a standout, complete with air compressor, vacuum system, and ample workspace. So they're proud of their pole barn. One sale. So this is always interesting to look at. So this has got a lot of history. So they listed this in May of 2024, and they have decreased, keep decreasing the price. They relisted it with a new realtor, most likely in October, and then they took it off again, and now they can't sell it, and they keep dropping their price. So they are motivated. You see what kind of pictures we have. There's the pole barn that they like. It's like a low ceiling, a funny floor. Wood paneling. pink carpet. It's a nice field. Maybe some apple trees. Doesn't look too terrible. I would say that the area is probably not that great. It's really close to 75. So it's a funny shape. So the house and the pole barn are up here in the front. And then they own this back here, which goes up to another road. All right, let's see what else. Paradise. This is really cute. So there you go, 49 saves. So this is a popular area. 160 for 80,000, or I'm sorry, 160,000 for 80 acres is very nice. It's on 123. It's been for sale for a while, built in 2002. So it's off-grid, close to snowmobile trails. You can drive out of the driveway and onto the trail. Surrounded by state forest. It does have deeded access. 2-bedroom cabin. Has its own solar system and generator backup. Well, septic, hot water heater, and hookups for washer and dryer. That's pretty good. Off-grid washer and dryer. Will not last long. All right. So here's another. They've been trying to sell it since August. 210, and they've dropped it down from 210 down to 160. So I'd say they're motivated. Let me look at some of these pictures and see. They have a lot of garbage cans. There's their propane. There's more, looks like more propane or something over there. Being off grid does take some work. Looks like chairs with, maybe those are just chairs. They look like toilet seats to me at first. It's got a nice steep roof, which is good. I always wonder how they, is this fully wired? Are there lights and light switches? So they have a full refrigerator. There looks like there's a light there. So maybe it is wired into their the house. There's a solar panel. It doesn't look like enough solar panels to me. If there's, maybe there's more. That's pretty. Oh, there's 4. And we have, what do we have? We have 3 or 4. They have their front door boarded. It's interesting. Be a loft upstairs. And it looks like a regular house. You wouldn't know it's off grid. Very cool. It didn't say anything about seasonal access or anything. Sometimes they give you directions to the house and they tell you directions. Yeah, that looks all right. That's cute. That's a good price for a full-fledged house and 80 acres. That's really good. So that was Paradise, right? So let's look at this one. This is in between. So I think this is what they call the charcoal grade road, charcoal snowmobile trail. Camp on 50 acres, 2-bedroom bunkhouse style. There's a garage, shed, trailer storage, fire pit, shooting range, deer blinds, trails, seasonal camp. Looking for its new owner after 27 years. So this has been in the same family for a long time. That's cool. Listed in September and they've dropped it down now, so they're motivated. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, this one said, I think this one said seasonal, yeah. So in the winter you would not be able to easily get to this. And you'd want to watch the snowmobile trail. If that road's a snowmobile trail, then you would not be able to get into it. It looks dark. They must not have had their generator going when they took pictures. There's some room for improvement there. This be part of, hopefully that's a garage or something. Yep, there's a door anyway. Huh, very nice. And then this one looked nice too. It's only 11 acres. It's on M117. So this can be purchased for 180, and then there's another 11 acres for 40. Ideal for a snowmobile group with wide open floor plan on the well-maintained home or retirement home. Okay. They've been trying to sell this for a bit. 2023, they couldn't sell it. Relisted in 2024, January, couldn't sell it. Now it's December. Well, they're down to 180. So if you're interested, they might be motivated. They've been trying to sell it for a while. That's a long time. Long time. It looks nice. It's a lot for 11 acres. They have a survey. Is it in a flood zone or something? Minimal. Well, it said it's on M117, which should be not great. There's 117. There's a lot of houses right in here. It said something about across the street. You can't really trust these dots to tell exactly where it is. So let me put it in Google and see if I get something different. It's about the same. Let's see what I do. Oh, I see. So it's behind, it's like directly behind another house. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be like that either. And maybe they're driving in here. Kind of looks like maybe they have a funky driveway. And then they may own the land behind, but who wants people in your front yard? And maybe, depending on who you are and what your lifestyle is, it might be okay. Okay. Well, that was it for that area. Didn't really see anything else. Just have to keep an eye on it. This time of year is slow for people selling for sure. Everybody's probably deciding right about now that maybe they don't like all the UP snow and maybe they want to sell their property to somebody. And then in April, March and April, we'll see. This will just be packed with new houses for sale. All right. Well, that was it for today. Thanks for watching. Take care.